Last night's 10-pitch at bat by Anthony Rizzo proved once again nobody beats the Riz. Now it's Jake's turn to shine here at Wrigley Field. Game 2, Cubs hosting the Mets. Next on CSN. Baseball on CSN Chicago is presented by State Farm. Gorgeous night here inside the friendly confines. Big crowd expected. It is game 2 of a 3-game series. Great pitching matchup tonight as the Mets and Cubs go at it. Noah Syndergaard against Jake Arrieta. And welcome to Cubs baseball here on CSN along with Jim DeShays. I'm Len Casper. The Cubs snapped an 8-game skid to the Mets with a win last night, and it really came down to one key at bat in the 3rd inning.
Yeah, and about as good an at bat as you're ever going to see. Anthony Rizzo off the tough left-hander Steven Matz battled, and ultimately won the battle. It was a 10-pitch at bat as Matz tried but could not finish off Anthony Rizzo. At one point fouling off 5 consecutive pitches. Matz has got good stuff. He's got a 95-mile-an-hour heater. He sinks it, has a good cutter, good changeup, but he just could not finish Rizzo off. Clearly in protect mode, fighting off those heaters, just hoping he would ultimately get a mistake from Matz. Almost slipped that heater by him there. And again, another fastball. Rizzo stays alive, tries the changeup, hangs it. Rizzo bangs it. End of story.
7th go-ahead home run, tied with Chris Bryant. And also, he leads the major leagues in game-winning RBI, so he's coming up with hits, and they've been big ones. Now to Jake Arrieta. A lot has been written about him struggling his last 4 times out. What's going to happen tonight?
Yeah, it's an interesting story. It really is, because dominant for so long, and obviously he's hit a little bit of a bump in the road here. Take a look at the numbers from end of July last year through June 17th of this season. 27 starts, 22-1 with a 1.15 ERA, a couple of no-hitters along the way. Huge strikeout to walk numbers. And then over the last 4 starts, 1.3 ERA of 6.75. Command has been off. It hasn't quite had the life on the fastball. Good bullpen session, and looked pretty clean coming out of his hand last time. So I expect Jake to be good here tonight.
All right, Jake the Snake against Thor, right? Noah Syndergaard basically throws harder than any starting pitcher in all of baseball. Arrieta, the reigning Cy Young winner. Should be a lot of fun tonight as the Cubs host the New York Mets. Next.
Your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. Ford, inviting you to check out their fuel-efficient lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Transparency. Low fares. Nothing to hide.
Gorgeous night. Wind actually blowing in tonight. Mets and Cubs middle game. of a 3-game series. The Cubs carry an 8-game advantage in the National League Central into tonight's action. The Mets have dropped out of a playoff spot. They're trailing the Miami Marlins by 1 game for the second wild card. Big crowd, and they got here early. And we're going to head out to the bleachers. Kelly Kroll with our Coors Light in-game report. What's going on in the bleachers tonight, Kelly?
Well, just take a look. We've got waves going on, streaks going on. It's going to be a good evening out here in the bleachers. Of course, the Cubs looking to go 2 in a row now against the Mets after getting to lefty Steven Matz last night. And the test only gets tougher against the hard-throwing righty Noah Syndergaard this evening, who just 2 weeks ago allowed 1 run on 7 hits to this Cubs club. And so tonight, Matt's trying things a little different. He's going to lead off with Tommy La Stella, little right, left, right switch. And this was the skip's thoughts as he laid it all out on paper this evening.
Really, if you look at his splits, enormously different against righties and lefties, so we have the appropriate guys. And when you do that, the threat is that you're not going to have a lefty on the bench for pinch hitting later in the game. That's part of the issues. However, you really look to grab a lead and hold on to it. So the best way to do that is to set it up, I think, the way we set it up tonight. And I like zone the 4-hole because otherwise Anthony doesn't get protected at all, I don't think, against the Syndergaard.
So Ben Zobrist hitting cleanup this night after getting a couple days rest. Jason Hayward hitting 6th in center field tonight. And guys, Madden's still playing around with the top of that lineup as he awaits, of course, the return of Dexter Fowler. But let's go ahead. Lynn, JD, put yourselves in Noah Syndergaard's shoes tonight. Wouldn't it be nice to throw that hard? But then tell me how you're going to navigate this lineup tonight.
Well, I think you're probably just going to do what you do. A guy of his caliber, he's, as you said, the hardest thrower in baseball with just about all of his pitches. And he had success against the Cubs in New York the last time out.
Yeah, you know, the top of the rotation guys, they dictate what the other team does. And that's what Joe basically said as much. He said when you're up against a guy like Syndergaard, you see the splits. He is absolutely chewed up right-handed hitter, so he's just trying to get as many left-handed bats in the lineup as possible. This guy throws 100 miles an hour. He's got a nasty slider. He's got very good secondary pitches to go along with that velocity, and he has outstanding command, and he's only 23 years of age. So the big question with Syndergaard, certainly for this year going forward, is health, whether that bone spur he's dealing with on his elbow becomes a big issue or not.
Oftentimes when you have matchups like this, it doesn't materialize, and then sometimes it does. It's just the nature of this sport.
Yeah, many times over the years in our profession, we sit up here and go, oh, what a pitching matchup we've got tonight. It's going to be a low-run game. The wind's blowing in, and the next thing you know, it's 10-9. But if you're a gambling man with Arrieta v. Syndergaard, you're probably going to take the under.
So the Cubs take the field behind the first-time All-Star Jake Arrieta. Both he and Syndergaard were named to the National League squad, but both had to be, or Syndergaard was replaced, Arrieta was not, but neither guy pitched in the game. So he gets ready and he'll face the following Mets Southwest starting lineup. Jose Reyes filling in for David Wright at third. Reyes back with his original club. Curtis Granderson gets a rare start in center field. They're playing musical chairs out there this week. Cespedes in left again. James Loney had a really nice series against the Cubs in New York. Neil Walker homered off Arrieta in that start at Citi Field. Cabrera, Conforto, Rene Rivera catching tonight for the hard-throwing righty Syndergaard, who has 2 home runs at the plate.
Cubs on defense, and it's brought to you by Arby's. Wilson Contreras left, Jason Hayward center, Chris Bryant will slide on out to right field. La Stella gets to start at third base because Joe wants that left-handed bat in the lineup. Russell Zobrist up the middle, Anthony Rizzo, where you'll always find him, and Miguel Montero will do the catching. Our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher tonight for the Cubs is the 30-year-old right-hander Jake Arrieta. He's made 18 starts. He's 12-4. With a 2.68 ERA, that's 10th best in the National League. League bats 197 against Jake. Both these guys have done a real nice job keeping the ball in the ballpark. Jake has allowed just 7 home runs.
Your umpires tonight: Eric Cooper, the home plate umpire; Jim Wolf at first; Gabe Morales at second; and crew chief Gary Cedarstrom over third. That special moving camera out in left field. Get some great beauty shots of Wrigley Field. Lights are on as we start just after 6 o'clock. It will not really take effect for a while. Let's see, switch hitting Reyes to start it.
And John Lester able to exact his revenge against the Mets last night. Jake Arrieta looking to do the same here tonight. They beat him back on July 2nd, 4-3. He went 5 1/3, allowed 8 hits, 4 runs.
And we're underway. A fastball for a strike. So both of these starting pitchers pitching for the first time in 11 days. Fouled out of play. 94 on the Heat. The first 2 pitches from Arrieta. Warm night, wind blowing in. This is not a common occurrence. Backdoor slider, and he almost got it. 1-2.
Last time out against the Pirates, Jake, the number's not pretty, but he threw the ball much better. At least I thought so. He went into the 7th inning, ended up allowing 9 hits and 6 runs. Struck out 6, had only 1 walk.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3.
Yeah, and he was getting more swings and misses than he had in recent starts. 2-seamer elevated.
Here's Granderson. 1,151 career games in center field, but hasn't played there regularly since 2012. The original plan tonight was Cespedes in center, as they're getting young Michael Conforto some reps out there, and he's supposed to take over there, at least split the job with Juan Lagares this weekend in Miami. As Granderson hits a soft liner to La Stella. But Terry Collins watched Cespedes last night, didn't love what he saw. He felt like he was running a little bit cautiously, maybe guarding that quad issue. So Cespedes is back in left tonight. Granderson in center. Conforto has never played right field as a pro. He's in right tonight. And again, by the weekend, the hope is that Conforto will be ready to man center field.
Yeah, and I think Terry Collins just willing to sacrifice defense for offense. It's an interesting club the Mets have. They hit a lot of home runs, but they don't score a lot of runs.
They're tied for the league lead in home runs. Ground ball toward left, and it's through. Cespedes jumps on that first pitch.
Yes, so they don't hit for a lot of average. They don't draw a lot of walks. They're not terrible in that department. Don't steal bases. It's a fairly one-dimensional approach. They live and die with the long ball.
Now James Loney filling in for Lucas Duda, who's on the disabled list. In that series in New York, Loney went 6 for 17 against the Cubs. 2 doubles, a homer, knocked in 4. He bounces right back to the mound. Good start for Arrieta. Scoreless first. Cubs go after Noah Syndergaard when we come back. By Benny's Beverage Depot. If Tommy La Stella gets a hit, Benny's will donate $100 to the Greater Chicago Food Depository. Cubs Southwest starting lineup back to 20 games over 500, 56 and 36. La Stella grew up a Yankee fan in New Jersey, but did go to Shea Stadium before they moved. Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo, Ben Zobrist, all-stars. Contreras in left, Hayward back in the lineup in center. Russell batting seventh, ahead of Montero and Arrieta. Ball one on La Stella, 98 on the fastball, and it's free and easy from Noah Syndergaard.
Syndergaard, the Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher for the Mets here tonight. Making his 18th start. He's worked once out of the pen. 9-4 with a .256. Note the strikeout numbers versus the walks. 128 punch-outs, just 18 walks.
Granderson got a late start, and that ball will drop in front of him. So La Stella had a really nice day against Yu Darvish over the weekend. Helps out Benny's Beverage Depot and the Greater Chicago Food Depository with that base hit.
Let's check out the Mets defense, brought to you by Arby's. Len talked about the outfield configuration. Cespedes, Granderson, Conforto, left to right. Reyes, Cabrera, Walker, Loney. Boy, a lot of veterans in the lineup for the Mets. Rene Rivera will do the catching.
Early base runner. Here's Bryant. Outside, ball one. 3 for 15 out of the break. A was hit. Stole a base, scored a run last night. There's a unique view in this ballpark from the camera out in right field. Up the middle. Knocked down, and that's all Neil Walker can do. Back-to-back singles for Anthony Rizzo.
Not an easy play, but a play it looked like Walker was going to be able to make there. A little catch and flip to second base to get La Stella, but the catch part didn't work out for him, and the Cubs are in business. Back-to-back knocks. Early pressure here on the big right-hander.
Big hand for Rizzo. Yep, you see a big, hard-throwing right-hander, and he's wearing number 34. You can do the math and figure out he must be from Texas. Syndergaard is from Mansfield. It's a suburb in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, just south of Arlington. And Rizzo needs to dig a toe hold spot. So it needs a little extra time.
And you never know the way a ball game is going to play out, but this is a big opportunity early. A couple guys on base for Rizzo. Left-handed hitters have been a lot better than righties against Syndergaard. It's his changeup.
90 miles an hour. Probably will not see a fastball from either starter tomorrow that will be that fast.
Yeah, good point.
Colon and Hendricks. In the air, but pulled foul. Out of play. Syndergaard 6'6", 240. Looks the part. Got a great nickname. This is a premier matchup. Syndergaard and Rizzo. Power against power.
Power against power, but also two complete players. You know, Syndergaard with a good mix of pitches, and of course Rizzo so good at making adjustments throughout the at bat.
That's not really shifting much due to the base running situation.
And the stolen base definitely in play here tonight for the Cubs. It's been a bit of an issue for Syndergaard holding base runners. And the Mets may be inclined to try too against Arrieta and Montero.
And foul the other way on 100 miles an hour.
Some pretty good RISP right there. 362 with runners in scoring position.
And he got him. It was nearly impossible to hit at that elevation. 99 miles an hour. Up and out of the zone.
Out of his hand, it looks get toable, but that thing just stays on plane, rides up above the hands. The best you can hope for there is to foul it off.
Ben Zobrist back after a 2-day break. Trying to keep everybody fresh for a stretch run. Strike. Zobrist hitting cleanup between Rizzo and Contreras, who's on deck. Dexter Fowler and Jorge Soler were scheduled to play for Iowa today, but that game in Des Moines was rained out. They hope to get some at bats tomorrow for the I-Cubs. It's a strike. 100 and painted, bottom of the zone.
Yeah, that's hardly fair. Well, this is a great matchup too, in that Syndergaard among the league leaders in swings and misses and in the strike zone. He can overpower you in the zone, but Zobrist one of the better contact hitters in all of baseball.
Hits away, and the runners will advance.
A little the wild pitch, when ball in the dirt. Rivera opting to try to pick that ball with the glove as opposed to blocking it.
So a wild pitch on Syndergaard. Infield stays back. Shallow left, and Estella's not even tagging. And that is out number 2.
Yeah, we had a lengthy discussion last night about the Cespedes arm out there in left field and the 2-out send in certain situations, and you're always going to look to run to be aggressive when the catch is the second out, but this one just way too shallow to even contemplate it.
Our Xfinity high-speed action. Here's that play last night. Really, he was 1 for 3 in these types of situations. He throws out Contreras, who made an offline throw as Caesar actually held at second. Would have been safe at third if he had tried for 3. And then later in the game, Cespedes whiffed on a ball as a run scored. So we tend to remember the great throws, but wasn't perfect out there last night. Contreras hits a ground ball to short, and Syndergaard will escape. 2 hits to start it, but no runs. 0-0 after 1. CSN Chicago is presented by State Farm. So Rizzo with a foul ball during his at bat, and look who catches it. Is it? It can't. No, it's not. We got some tweets. Is that Eddie Vedder? No, it's not.
No, it's Teddy Vedder. Long lost brother.
Looks like Garrett Cole if he were a Cub. Neil Walker. 2-run homer in the first inning off Arrieta in New York. On July 2nd, and he pulls one toward right. Zobrist will make the play. Time now for greater coverage of baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. Not good news. Clayton Kershaw just doesn't feel quite right. That is scary for Dodger fans.
Oh, Johnny Peralta, is that the same thumb he had problems with before?
I will look. It is the left thumb. Second time he's been on the DL dealing with that thumb issue. One strike on Asdrubal Cabrera, 30 years old, 10th Major League season. Most of it spent with Cleveland. And he pushes a bunt toward third, and it's foul.
Very good player, very dependable at shortstop. Switch hitter, .257 from the left side this year. 11 of his 13 home runs have come as a left-handed batter.
Swing and a miss, strike 3.
You got Reyes with a high fastball, and Cabrera gets the same treatment.
Michael Conforto returned from AAA yesterday. Pinch hit single in the ninth at .344 in 16 games with Las Vegas. After going through a very rough patch at the big league level, prompting his demotion, he got off to a great start. He hit .365 with an OPS of over 1,100 in April. Then hit a .148 over his next 44 games before being sent down. Curveball rolled foul. Jake seems to be in a good rhythm here early.
In his start against the Mets in New York, he was falling behind just about everybody. And because of that, he wasn't getting the swings and misses when he expanded the zone. Just kind of waiting back.
He struck him out on a fastball to end the inning. 0-0 after an inning and a half.
To the bottom of the second, we're scoreless. The Cubs are introducing game-changing new premier experiences at Wrigley Field with seats featuring prime views and access to an exclusive club and first-class amenities. The new premier experiences will allow fans to enjoy Cubs baseball in America's most majestic ballpark in a whole new way. Visit CubsPremier.com to learn more and join the Premier Client Priority List for your chance to become a Premier Client with club access.
And we have more information on that coming up in the third as Jason Hayward takes a strike from Noah Syndergaard. It's kind of hard to believe he's 0 for 9 on the homestand. He squared up some balls in that Texas series, did not get rewarded. Played right field in the ninth last night. Some cool batting gloves too. Fouled out of play.
At his best, middle away and down a little bit. Early on, he really had a hard time laying off high fastballs, and Wasn't able to do much with that pitch. There's a tendency to get tied up inside. He's been working really hard at trying to take that top hand out of the equation a little bit.
She's got that overlapping grip.
And that's what that's meant to do. That grip takes the top hand off the bat a little bit because he has a tendency to pull those hands in and kind of smother the ball, roll over on it, hit the ball on the ground to the right side.
And he lines in the right for a base hit. Leadoff man on for the second inning to start the game. Here's Addison Russell, batting 7th in the lineup tonight, 1 out of 4 last night.
So Jason thinks about trying to steal a bag here. Cubs
upstairs.
Stole a couple bases last night. Travis d'Arnaud was doing the catching for the Mets yesterday. He was struggling throwing the ball. Didn't have a lot of zip on his throws. Rivera this year has caught 33%, which is better than league average. But again, as I mentioned, Syndergaard fairly easy to run on. It's a while to unfold that big long body.
It's the outside corner. It's 1-1. Bone spur issue, then arm fatigue. Syndergaard, you know, he's throwing 100 miles an hour, so it wouldn't give you any reason to be concerned based on the stuff. And is 1-1. 2 balls and a strike. Syndergaard made his major league debut in this ballpark last year, and he took the loss.
Originally drafted by Toronto was Syndergaard, first round, number 6 overall in 2010.
It was May 12th of last year. Suffered a 6-1 loss to Jake Arrieta. That was before Jake really got locked in. He went 8 innings, 1 run, 10 strikeouts that night to improve to 4-3 on the year. Hayward takes off. Russell dumps that one out into left center. Hayward had to make sure it got down. He'll advance to third. Russell has a double. And the Cubs have runners at second and third now with nobody out.
Back-to-back hits to start the first. Couldn't do anything with it. Now second and third, nobody out. Albeit down towards the bottom of the batting order, but a good chance here to draw first blood.
Put the first 2 on in the opening inning and could not cash in. Let's see if the bottom of the order can come through. You've got Montero coming in at 199. Arrieta hitting 282 is on deck. Miguel now making just his 5th start in the Cubs' last 18 games.
Try to get on top of one. Here's the middle of the diamond, little ground ball to second base. Would be a thing of beauty here.
4 hits already off Syndergaard as Montero fouls.
Yeah, and I think, aggressive swing there by Miggy, and I think now is the time to kind of adopt that 2-strike approach, even though there's only 1 strike. And you got a guy like Syndergaard out there who could throw 100 miles an hour. Just be willing to shorten up and make sure you put it in play.
Syndergaard's got it. Hayward in a rundown. And Russell's going to race back to second. Well, we need to take another look here. Obviously, Hayward, once he got in a rundown, was trying to stay alive to allow Russell to get to third, but instead, Addy turned around and went the other way. And I think Gary Jones was telling Russell to come to third, not go back.
Yeah, he was 3/4 of the way there. Just go ahead and get to third base. That's, he's thinking, well, maybe Jason can get out of this, but you can't really think along those lines.
Jonesy was pretty emphatic trying to get Russell to keep on coming.
Now, in the perfect world there, Jason stays in the rundown long enough for Montero to get into scoring position, so you don't lose anything.
Arrieta now first and second. Well, the other question is, should Hayward have gone?
Well, I don't, normally you don't put the contact play on with nobody out, but bottom of the order, Syndergaard on the mound, perhaps that was the case. And normally you tell a base runner in that situation, hey, you're reading the ball off the bat, but they might have been going on contact.
Yeah,
if they were, then
we'll try to get another look, see if he was moving as contact was made.
And normally in that situation, third base would say, hey, make the ball get through the infield, read it off the bat, whatever. And the third option again would be the contact play where you're not thinking, you're just going.
These 2 pitchers can swing the bat. They've combined for 4 home runs this year.
He may have thought that ball was going to get past Syndergaard and didn't want to give up that opportunity to score the run.
Down by Rivera. Runners will hold.
And this time able to make the adjustment. Instead of trying to pick it, block it.
Well, you hate to let Syndergaard off the hook twice in the first 2 innings. Kick and the 2-2, and he got him. The chase. Jake thought he got a piece of it, but he did not. Second strikeout for Syndergaard. 2 outs. It'll be up to Listella. Tommy with a base hit to start the bottom of the first. Hit. Good footwork by Brandon Hyde to get out of the way.
I'm sure which way to go. So in this situation where base hit likely scores a run, the Mets really tighten up their outfield defense. They play shallow, especially to the outfield there. Cespedes in left, Granderson pretty tight in center. So incumbent on Addison Russell to make sure he gets a good secondary lead here.
Gorgeous night. 76 degrees. Little breeze off the lake as we got started. A 1-1. 2-1. Cubs stranded 2 in the first. Got 2 on here in the second. They had them on with nobody out. Now there are 2. 3-1. Syndergaard, drafted by the Blue Jays in 2010. Traded to the Mets in the R.A. Dickey deal prior to 2013. He was not listed in Baseball America's top 200 prospects going into that draft. So maybe a late bloomer. Whatever it was, the Blue Jays saw something they really liked. Pop will get back out of play, and he's not only a hard thrower, but he doesn't mind throwing at or near people either.
Intimidation can be a heck of a weapon in this sport, and when you're 6'6" and throw 100 miles an hour, and you're willing to run one up under a guy's chin every now and then, makes it doubly tough.
Action pitch with 2 outs. 3-2. The runners will be on the move. There they go, and here it is. And La Stella held, and the bases are loaded.
A great job by La Stella. Quality at bat. Keep the line moving, and another great example of the whole notion of protection a little bit overrated. You got Chris Bryant. He had 25 home runs on deck, and Syndergaard still not going to give in to La Stella there.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. '40th pitch of the night. Center field, Granderson has it, and the inning is over. Struck well, but the Cubs have now left 5 on base through 2. Mets and Cubs are scoreless. Jake Arrieta has been sharp here early on, and in the booth with us, Colin Faulkner, the Cubs Senior Vice President of Sales and Marketing, and a pretty big announcement made today. And we had a promo earlier for the new American Airlines 1914 club, which will be a great addition to Wrigley Field. Tell us about it, Colin.
Well, I thought Jay did a great job reading the promo, first of all.
Thank you.
So
Fly ball the other way, and it'll be Bryant to make the catch.
Yeah, so today we launched CubsPremiere.com, so fans can go there and check it out. As part of the ongoing restoration of the ballpark and the 1060 project, we're going to be adding some new clubs in the coming years, and we wanted to share that information with fans starting today.
So this is how it will look. The 1914 club. Syndergaard bats left-handed, takes ball one. So we're looking at opening day 2018.
Yeah, opening day 2018, but we thought it was important to start talking to our fans about it today, because while that seems like a long ways away, we want to give fans as much information as we can as early as we can, whether they currently sit in those areas or they may want to sit in those areas in the future.
So if you get on this list and get into that club, kind of run us through the game day experience as you envision it in a couple of years.
Yeah, so we did a lot of research going into this, and it was really important to talk to our fans and find out what they wanted. And what fans have told us is they love the experience at the ballpark. They love coming here. They love sitting in their seats, but they would love to have a little bit better food and beverage, a little bit quicker trip to the bathroom, and some other things that we're going to incorporate into this space. So that's really what we're trying to do there.
And where will that particular club behind home plate be located?
Yeah, so the first club, the American Airlines 1914 club, comes online in 18, and we're going to start excavating this offseason between the dugouts. So we'll end up underneath the club and field box there behind home plate. We'll start excavating and dig dirt and remove it, and the seats will be, or the club will be under the seats there. So you see the image there. That'll be under the seats in the first few rows behind home plate.
So there'll be a home plate club, the one we're showing here. Eventually a first base, third base, and upper level club as well.
Yeah, correct. So just below, actually right where that ball went, is where the upper deck club will be. Nice. So it'll be just below where we are. That'll come on subsequently, but the first one is the 1914 club, and fans we got tremendous feedback once we announced this today. Fans should go to CubsPremiere.com to get more information, read the FAQ, and if they're interested in one of these spaces, to put down a deposit.
2 strikes on Jose Reyes. Third inning, scoreless tie. The Cubs have had a lot of chances against Noah Syndergaard. Arrieta has allowed just one base runner, a single by Cespedes in the first. Swing and a miss. All right, Colin, CubsPremiere.com. That's the new website. Can't wait to see the new club. Are you going to let us in?
You guys are invited.
Secret handshake.
Scoreless tie here in the third.
head east in search of 3 points against the New England Revolution. Coverage begins at 6 on CSN+.
Is that a regulation win? 3 points?
Apparently.
Nice.
I'm guessing.
Jake Arrieta.
What if road wins in sports were weighted more heavily than home wins?
Ooh. That's an interesting concept. Arrieta, 27 pitches, 25 strikes through 3. Cubs have made Syndergaard work very hard for his 2 scoreless innings.
Yeah, so even though they haven't been able to push through and score, could have an impact later on.
Nasty changeup.
Nasty dive bomber.
I think if you polled most major league hitters, they hate swinging and missing at that pitch, being fooled, right? It's one thing to get overpowered by a fastball, but when you're going flailing away at a changeup, that's a shot to the ego.
Because you take a mighty swing at a fastball and you get beat. It's like, it was full of potential. Man, if I had just gotten ahead on that one, it would have gone 600 feet. Here he goes, doing his thing again, though. Fighting off 98.
Like he asked Eric Cooper if that was a strike, and Cooper said it was not. In terms of the location of that pitch. And you can see number 4 was well off the plate.
We'll try to climb the ladder again. Not as high as the strikeout pitch last time.
On the hands, Rivera will quickly run out of room. Day game tomorrow. Cubs are off on Thursday. They'll bus to Milwaukee for the weekend. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Hey, Cubs fans, let's go. Plan now for the August and September push towards the playoffs. Tickets are still available for this second half, but don't wait. They're going fast. Visit Cubs.com today. Ben Zobrist. Strike 1. 35 years old. 6'3", 210. All-Star in 09 and 13 with the Rays, and in his first year as a Cub. Got a 4-year free agent contract over the winter. He has come as advertised.
Cooper telling Ben that was a called strike. Let's see on our Menards pitch tracks. Guess we could make a case. It didn't look like it in real time.
Ben has walked 55 times, has struck out just 50. 51. Back-to-back for Syndergaard to start this 3rd inning.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised to find out that a decent percentage of those strikeouts on Ben were called 3rd strikes. swing and miss much. He's got a very keen eye. Sometimes the pitcher just makes a quality pitch and they catch him looking.
Did you know, Jim DeShays, Wilson Contreras tonight is making his 23rd consecutive start?
I did not know that.
He has become, for the time being, an everyday player.
Yeah, I knew running out there pretty much every day.
Somewhat following in Chris Bryant's footsteps and playing multiple positions. He's in a favorable count. He swings and misses.
Yeah, he was just guessing heater there. Understandable that he would anticipate fastball on 2-0 from Syndergaard.
He lines that one toward the alley, and that ball's going to roll to the wall. Two-out double, Contreras. Cubs have 5 hits now in the first 3 innings off Syndergaard.
Well, Syndergaard threw him that 2-0 breaking pitch. Probably figured he'd slowed him down a little bit, would be able to beat him with the fastball, but Contreras all over it, lashes it into the alley in right center. He was 1 out of 4 with a double in the ball game yesterday. This is just good hitting here. Picture perfect swing.
Another chance here. The runner in scoring position. The Cubs are 0-for-6 so far tonight. Pitch to Hayward. Low, ball 1. And 1. Syndergaard gets the sign from Rivera. Contreras takes his lead off second. And he's going to try for third, and he's going to make it, and he's going to score. Rivera really with an ill-advised throw in the first place. He had no shot, and it's 1-0.
See Contreras, that big aggressive secondary lead. He breaks as soon as he sees the ball in the dirt. Certain amount of risk there with 2 outs, but it pays off big time. Rivera with a very poor decision making that throw.
So the bottle of 10-hour energy scores the first run. Forward in the air to left. Well hit. Cespedes just on the edge of the track to end the inning. Cubs get an unearned run and lead 1-0.
finale of this 3-game set with the Mets. First pitch at 1:20. Up to the first 10,000 early arriving fans will receive a Jake Arrieta Cy Young Award bobblehead presented by Pepsi and the Brookfield Zoo. For more information, visit Cubs.com.
One strike on Curtis Granderson, so Arrieta finally has his lead. Little low, 1-1. See the pull shift.
Really bunched in the outfield, giving both lines, certainly left.
Granderson offered at it. 1-2. Got an odd birthday request. Probably appropriate. The last name was not given. On Twitter, guy asked, "Hey, my buddy Dan's wife left him today on his birthday. Could you find it in your hearts to cheer him up?" Happy birthday, Dan.
That's cold. That's real cold.
Yeah. Sorry, buddy. Fly ball to right. Bryant drifts back. And he's got it. On away. Here's Cespedes. So far, so good. Jake Arrieta has been at his efficient best. 32 pitches in the 4th inning. Stella on the short hop hit. 2 gone. 9 in a row sent down.
Yeah, a lot of swings and misses and weak contact so far off of Arrieta. Nice play there by La Stella on the move, handling that short hop. Stay down, stay through it.
Here's Loney, who spent the first couple of months playing in the minor leagues, something he hadn't done regularly in a while. He was in the Padres organization, released by Tampa Bay on April 3rd, signed a minor league deal with San Diego a few days later. 43 games at AAA, hit .342 before he was traded to the Mets. One caught by Hayward. 1-0 Cubs midway in the 4th. Think E-Click Lending with rates at all-time lows. Don't wait. Lock in your low rate today. With E-Click Lending, you never pay lender fees. Point, click, save. E-Click Lending. Another foul ball earlier, and our good buddy Joe Shanahan made the catch, the owner of Metro. And what did he do? He gave it to a kid. That's how you do it.
There's tremendous peer pressure. But what if you have a kid at home?
He does.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's the immediacy of it.
What's the deal, Dad? You had that ball. You gave it up.
Swing and a miss, 1-2. Joe is a great partner of ours for Hot Stove Cool Music every summer. There's a lot of money for Theo's foundation. Phone blowing up.
I'd keep the ball and give the kid a 5. Buy yourself a hot dog, son. But first you'd have to present pictures of your kid. You have to have evidence. See, I really do have a kid at home.
On the ground to the right side, handled by Walker.
Or I'd say to my good buddy Len, hey, you know what? I gave up that ball. Any way you can give me one, and I don't know, maybe get Chris Bryant to sign it. So I'm not in the doghouse. Ballpark has a different feel for these 6:05 games. The lighting is it's a really good look.
It really is. We have great HD monitors here in the booth, but I am told people watching at home really enjoy this look in HD. And I think this ballpark in high definition is the most beautiful sports facility I've ever seen. I've been known to record our games just to see what it looks like on the big screen at home. With the sound off, of course.
Yeah, it's a great visual.
I don't want to hear myself, but I want to see it.
You see Syndergaard started the game with a 98-mile-an-hour fastball, and he'll stay there all night. He doesn't really lose his stuff. He has a minimalist delivery. A little rocker step, and away she goes. Interesting when you compare these two clubs in the way they're built, or at least the way their roster looks today. The Mets leaning heavily on young pitching. The Cubs, of course, with all the young position players. The Mets lineup today, everybody's 30 plus except for Conforto, the position players. Syndergaard, just 23 years of age.
Swing and a miss. He got it.
Attention all teachers. The Cubs are welcoming back teachers and their families for the 6th annual Teacher Appreciation Night. It will happen on Tuesday, August 2nd. The Cubs are offering specially priced tickets to all teachers and their family members to watch the Cubs host the Marlins. All participants will receive a commemorative canvas bag. For more information, visit Cubs.com/special group nights.
So I've got the standard 1080 HD. You don't have a 4K.
I have no idea what I have.
Television, do you?
No idea.
You have a TV. That's what you have, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of big.
I do. I have a big flat screen.
Right.
But I don't know the technology behind it.
2-1.
Now, every now and then I have to go out and get new tubes for it.
I'm guessing it's not. It's on the. It's flat screen on the wall, and you have to get new tubes for it. Okay.
I don't have to get tubes.
Jake smokes that one to center. Hit 14 home runs in BP yesterday. You got a double tonight.
Jake being Jake tonight, boy. He's on top of his game out on the mound, and now he delivers this ringing double. Fastball moving in on him a little bit. He cuts it off and hammers it to the wall in left center.
I was talking with Jake the other day. Had dozens of pictures on his phone from San Diego. Even though he didn't pitch, he had a wonderful time with his family. He and his son Cooper at the home run derby. And, I mean, look at that shot. Is that not a young Jake right there without the beard? Put a beard on Cooper, and that's his dad. One and one on La Stella. Cubs trying to win for their biggest fan, Dan, on his birthday.
Bring one home for Dan.
Tap foul.
It's coming easy for Syndergaard here tonight. He's only allowed the one run, but a lot of base runners, a lot of deep counts. Still has not had a 1-2-3 inning.
Base hit to right. Arrieta to third. Conforto up with it. Here's the throw to the plate. Save. Somehow he got around the tag of Rivera, who is convinced he tagged him. For now, it's 2-0 Cubs.
And Jake trying to sneak in the back door here. Rivera tries to sweep tag. Yeah, boy, really hard to tell. Derek Cooper, the home plate umpire, has got a great look at it. I think he's going to be out.
They're going to get another look as Terry Collins has challenged. I think he got his hand. Yeah, he did.
He got his hand, and pretty amazing that Rivera was able to hang on to the ball because it looked like he had a very strong grasp on it.
So it will be our Foresight Technology replay review.
Conforto new to right field, gets off a pretty good throw. It's going to be the compelling evidence right there.
Crowd's going to be disappointed. So the out is recorded. It's 1-0 at the end of 4. Our Cubs Insider on CSNChicago.com, presented by Nationwide's Jeff Vukovich, serving the community for 38 years. Go to jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side. So Michael Conforto, in his first ever start in right, has an outfield assist, and that could loom large later as Arrieta gets another quick out. This time it's Neil Walker to start the fifth.
There's a huge difference between this game for Jake and the last time he faced the Mets, and it was establishing strike zone control of the strike zone early on. Now the Mets a little more aggressive early. That was not the case in his last start against them. So here he is in the fifth inning with one out, and he's only made 38 pitches.
My radio hit on the score today. And with the morning guys, that will not hit hard as Silvers will charge and get the out. I said, well, you know, Jake is really good tonight. Let's say through 6, low pitch count. Does Joe take him out feeling good about his outing, or does he push it, let him keep going? And I said, I think it depends on the game situation, where the Cubs are in the lineup, what have you. But if he keeps pitching this way, Jake may throw 17 innings tonight. He might go throw in the bullpen after the game if he keeps doing this.
He might have a Maddox here tonight.
About halfway home, but it has been pretty spectacular. One strike on Conforto. But it is an interesting question. Let's say we're 1-0 7th, 8th inning, and he's got a low pitch count, but you know the game could turn on one swing of the bat.
I think you just manage it like any other game. I mean, once he has established that he's pitching like he does when he's on his game, you're going to lean heavily on him. You're going to prefer him out there than most of your bullpen options. I don't think, you know, he doesn't need to get a win to feel good about himself. He just needs to pitch well. Right. He's already done that tonight.
You don't worry about his confidence being fragile per se.
No, I think if he were having, you know, if he were in and out of trouble all night long, and then you know, and he's got a 3-1 lead, say, then you start, okay, let's get him up the tunnel, get the ice bag on the arm, pat on the back, good job. But when he's pitching a game like this, this is vintage Arrieta. We're just going to turn him loose.
Three and 2 on Conforto. Rare full count for Jake tonight. Walked him. Second Met to reach. Rivera pops it up, back out of play. One start in that series in New York on July 3rd, 2 for 4 with a home run, knocked in 3. Was hit by a pitch by Miguel Montero. Pitched late in that game. Soft liner for a base hit. That'll bring up Syndergaard, who had a 2-homer game earlier this year at Dodger Stadium.
Syndergaard's certainly capable of helping himself, and even if he doesn't, Good work here by Conforto and Rivera at the bottom of the order guarantees the lineup turnover in the 6th.
Two on, two down. The pitch. Outside for ball 1. A walk and a single with 2 outs. This coming after Conforto threw out Arrieta at the plate. Ended the 4th inning. High fly to right. Bryant is over near the wall, that sidewall, and it lands in the seats foul. One and two. Arrieta's ready. Hayes struck him out. Inning over. Bottom 5. Cubs 1. Mets nothing.
Cap join the Cubs for their annual Scout Night Tuesday, August 9th. The Cubs are offering specially priced tickets to scouts as well as their families and friends to watch the Cubs host the Angels. Bring your own radar gun. All participants will receive a Cubs-themed scout patch. For more information, visit Cubs.com/special group nights. No, not those kinds of scouts.
Bryant will lead off the 5th. And he takes a strike, and we want to welcome all our viewers watching on South Benton Cablevision in South Benton, Iowa. Way up in the air. Infield pop. Cabrera's got it.
Well, good work there by Rivera and Syndergaard, doubling up with the inside fastball on Bryant. Third look at him, so he's going to change the mix a little bit. A lot of times he's going in, then coming back away with that slider to the right-handed hitters. But he went back-to-back inside fastballs, two-seamer running in. Chris can't get the barrel out in time.
Rizzo has struck out twice. Starlin Castro's homered for the Yanks tonight. They lead the Orioles 3-0 in the fifth. His 11th two-run blast. Starlin batting .259 on the year. As we know, doesn't walk a ton. On base .295, slugging .406.
The Yankees hanging around the fringes there of the wild card race in the American League. Dead even 46 and 46 coming into play tonight. 7.5 games behind the first place Orioles, excuse me.
A little hairy there. The Orioles. Tough night for Rizzo. 2 down. Stake to the heart for the White Sox last night. They wasted a gem by Chris Sale. Adam Lind, 3-run pinch hit homer in the 9th. David Robertson. Mariners had 1 hit in those first 8 innings. Put up 4 in the 9th to deny Sale his 15th win. We'll see the White Sox for 4 next week. 2 at U.S. Cellular Field Monday and Tuesday night, and then back here at Wrigley Field Wednesday and Thursday. So the Cubs are embarking on Friday on a 5-game road trip, but about 90 miles to the north and then about 9 miles to the south. The PNC Cubs upcoming schedule after we wrap up this series in homestand tomorrow. Off to the road, but kind of road trip you don't mind taking in terms of travel.
You could ride your bike for that whole road trip.
You could. Are you going to?
No, I'm suggesting you.
You could also take a boat to Milwaukee and back and to the south side.
Now you're talking.
Although from your downtown residence, taking a boat to U.S. Cellular Field would not be necessarily convenient. You have to go out on Lake Michigan and go a little south and then probably get a cab or something.
Yeah.
So
put a little moped on the boat.
I don't think there's a direct route,
water
VJ,
route. Tell them we're going to send the boat to Milwaukee.
Cespedes will make the grab, so Zobrist lines out. The inning is over after 5. It's 1-0 Cubs on an unearned run in the 3rd. Well, it has lived up to the billing. This pitching matchup, our Quicken Loans Rocket Arms. Arrieta's been much more efficient.
Yeah, Syndergaard's been in and out of trouble all night long, but he's only allowed the 1 run. Arrieta's been really crisp. Pitch number 53, 41 of those pitches for strikes. Doesn't mean they've all been in the zone. Some chases out of the zone, pitches put in play. These Mets hitters back on their heels all night long. Seen Reyes chasing high fastballs. Yesterday he was swinging at the curveball of Lester down in the dirt. Back up top.
Into right. Reyes thinking more than 1, and he might be thinking 3 now. He's going to try for 3. And he's in. Leadoff triple, Jose Reyes.
Well, Jake's going to have to pull a rabbit out of his hat here to prevent this run from scoring. Reyes shoots this one towards the right field corner. I thought Chris was going to be able to cut it off. Obviously, he was not able to, and Reyes takes advantage, gallops into third base.
That's his play. 4 times as a Met. He led the majors in triples. It's the 118th of his career. Just 3 behind his home run total of 121. Cornermen in, they're back everywhere else against Granderson. Right down the middle, strike 1. The pitch in the air to center, should be plenty deep enough to get Reyes in. Hayward makes the catch, and Reyes will score. Sac fly Granderson, 1-1.
I like the aggressive approach by Arrieta there, though. Sometimes with a guy on third base, you start to try to pitch away from contact. That's when you end up walking a hitter or two and setting up a potential big inning. Kind of like in golf, you know, when they say take your medicine, you just take your bogey,
right.
Move on. You get, you know, the leadoff triple. I'm assuming that run is going to score. Now, you know, if you find yourself standing out there and there's 2 outs and a man on third base, then you maybe pitch away from contact a little bit.
Curve strike to Cespedes to start it. Slider low and outside, 1-1. Mentioned the Iowa Cubs were rained out today as Dexter Fowler and Jorge Soler were scheduled to play in rehab games. Trevor Cahill also on a rehab assignment. 2 2/3 yesterday, gave up 3 runs. Dan Vogelbach had 4 hits. He has the best on-base percentage in the Pacific Coast League, .425. What a year he's put together.
Plenty of slugging too.
Paul Blackburn, right-hander with Tennessee, 6 innings, gave up an unearned run in a no decision for the Smokies. The Eugene Emeralds of the Northwest League, 22-9, their magic number to clinch the first half South Division title is 1. Asiel Bellegert, we saw him a little bit in spring training. He reached base 5 times, 4 hits, and a win earlier today for Myrtle Beach, 13-7 over the Winston-Salem Dash. Bounce to third. Nice play by Listella. The ball was bouncing and then it kind of flattened out on him.
Skidded on him. Stayed down, so did he. Nice play by the former Chanticleer. Take home a game used or autographed item and help benefit Cubs charities. Cubs Authentics is the premier outlet for all MLB authenticated Cubs memorabilia. The Cubs will donate net proceeds from the sale of Cubs Authentics to Cubs charities. Visit Cubs.com/authentics today.
Loney with 2 outs and a strike called. Jameson Taillon pitching for the Pirates tonight. They're hosting Milwaukee. He took a line shot off the back of his head and stayed in the game. StatCast had it at 105 miles an hour at the bat of Hernan Perez. That was scary. (2-1) Pittsburgh as they play the bottom of the 6th inning.
Taillon, one of their highly touted prospects, right-hander who's a former number 2 overall pick in the draft. He's had some tough luck. Tommy John surgery cost him a season. He had sports hernia, cost him last season.
Rizzo to the bag. Mets tie it 1-1. Internet's a great thing. I said Cooper Arrieta is a spitting image of his dad. How about that?
Yeah.
Cubs suggest taking public transportation. Cubs offer a free bike check, now located near the Addison Red Line station. For drivers, the Cubs provide free remote parking and shuttle service on night and weekend games. For info, visit the A to Z guide on Cubs.com. Tie ball game, 1-1. Tyone is out of that game. 6 innings, gave up 1 run. So left with the lead.
Pirates 9 games behind the Cubs. Start of play today.
Cubs' run was unearned. And it was because of the hustle of Wilson Contreras. Time for a Lowe's home field advantage. And while the Cubs have the best home record in the National League, the advantage here is just simply the hustle by Contreras. That advantage will play anywhere. Ball 4.
Yeah, it's a tie ball game, but the Cubs are killing him in time of possession. Collins going to have to make a decision on Syndergaard as he approaches 100 pitches. Nothing going on in the Mets bullpen right now. Dickie Scott in the foreground there. Happy birthday to Dick Scott, the bench coach of the Mets, 54 today.
Ball 1.
You know what Dickie is? He's a good baseball man. Pride of Ellsworth, Maine. And now some action is going to start bubbling up in the Mets bullpen.
Speaking of good baseball men, great to see Dave Keller, longtime member of the Cubs organization, the Latin American field coordinator. He was in town for a few days and ended up touring the system. Jerry Blevins and Hansel Robles start to crank it up as Dan Warthen makes a visit to the mound. Andy Haynes, the Cubs league hitting coordinator, is here as well, making the rounds. Two and 0 on Hayward after Contreras walked. 6 misses to start this inning for Syndergaard. Felled Rivera.
Oof.
Left forearm or elbow.
Rivera, journeyman, he's been around the game a long time. First came up with the Mariners 2003, 4, somewhere in there. Way more time in the minor leagues than the big leagues.
There goes Contreras. Swing and a miss. Throw to second. Late. He's in. Well, he's playing left tonight, but really he's a catcher. We love catchers who can run.
Yeah, you don't find that many who are capable of stealing a base.
First career steal for Contreras.
I figured it would be an option for the Cubs tonight against Syndergaard. Contreras picks a good time in scoring position now for Hayward.
Swing and a miss. Rivera dropped it. He'll get the out at first with the runner holding at second. 7 Ks for Syndergaard. It'll bring up Addison Russell. And if the Mets push the issue here, it's possible to get to Arrieta's spot. More on that in a second. But that, I mean, that ball bounded way out in the left field off the head of Jameson Taillon, who stayed in the game. Incredible. Very scary. So it's Russell at the plate, Montero on deck. Arrieta is in the hole. And again, you know, Jake, it's 69 pitches through 6. Do you see any way Joel would pinch hit for him?
I don't think so.
I would tend to agree with you. Jake's ready to hit.
On the tie game, if they're down, he would.
And remember, Arrieta doubled in his last at bat. I have no idea if these two teams will meet up again in this postseason, but if they do, you can kind of envision tonight's game playing out similarly in the playoffs. Right? Two top of the order, top of the rotation starting pitchers, low scoring game.
Yeah, and you anticipate that in the postseason. Most postseason teams have good pitching. The Mets have become among the best in all of baseball. That's why Joe frequently talks about the ability to move the ball, put the ball in play, cut down on the strikeouts. When you're facing guys with top of the rotation stuff, you got to be willing to sacrifice a little bit and find a way to manufacture a run or two.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Cubs now 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position. Montero due, so Terry Collins is going to make a change. He wants Blevins. 1-1 tie, 6th inning, pitching change. We'll be back.
CSN, it's Chicago's premier nightly sports rep show, featuring the latest stories, game recaps, highlights, interviews, and more. Watch Sportsnet Central tonight after Cubs postgame live on CSN Chicago.
Time now for the Midas Tire and Auto Service call to the pen, and former Cub farmhand Jerry Blevins is on to face Miguel Montero. Runner at second, 2 outs, tie ball game.
Veteran left-hander, long, lean, Jerry Blevins. Sinker, curve, slider, and change. Not a hard thrower, upper 80s velocity on the fastball.
32 years old, 6'6", 190. Product of the University of Dayton, 17th round pick of the Cubs in 04. Major League debut 3 years later with Oakland. Side almost hit him.
Yeah, and if you hit for Montero here with, say, Caesar, Terry Collins is probably just going to put him on and bring Arrieta up.
Blevins and catcher Rob Bowen traded to the A's for Jason Kendall and cash in mid-July 2007.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Syndergaard to end his outing, and that was more of a function of the pitch count than anything. The bone spur he's dealing with, they're going to keep a close watch on him. First time in 5 starts he's gone up over 100 pitches.
Two and one on Montero. Big leg kick and a pitch. Jam shot. Little pop up that'll land untouched in foul territory.
Talk about getting inside on a man. Hit that one with his thumbs.
Gorgeous evening. Big crowd. 2 playoff hopefuls. Two. It's high. Diminished playing time here for Montero. His 50th game this season. He's used to playing upwards of 110, 120 games a year. Come through here. Contreras at second and 2 outs. 3-2 pitch. Popped up, shallow center. Granderson in, and that's the inning. Bill Peterson, our buddy who will sing the stretch, will join us when we come back in the 7th. 1-1. deadlock. And some people probably yell at him, Gil, but it's Bill. It's Bill Peterson, our good friend who now lives on the West Coast, but watches Cubs baseball every day. A Chicago guy, and it's been a while. It's been a few years.
It's been a while since I've been in this park, so it's actually my first chance to see all the unbelievable, beautiful stuff that they've done here. It's really great.
How are we looking?
Although I still keep looking at the center field board.
Of course.
It's the only way I can follow the game.
Yeah, I do too.
There's way too much information on these other boards. It's I don't have a computer, so I'm not used to that kind of knowledge being streamed at me.
Clean shaven, you clean up well.
I'm
used to
every
seeing you
now
with
and
a
then.
beard.
Well, it's hot.
Neil Walker takes ball one. Jake Arrieta's been really good tonight.
It's great to have Jake back now.
Cubs starters first 4 games going into tonight to start the second half with a sub-2. And Walker with a base hit to start the inning. What's been keeping you busy these days, Bill?
Got kids. I got a couple of kids that I chase around, and we've been traveling back and forth to Chicago, LA. I've been looking sort of at some projects, but not finding anything I really wanted to do too much. Reading plays. I'm kind of at a place where I'm, learning how to play guitar, stuff like that. I'm in a big pause. And ever since the middle of the last year, it's just about the Cubs. I got the baseball package, and I just sit on my couch.
That's a great life.
Listen to you guys.
Stella in at third. Cabrera the hitter. Not showing bunt, and he taps it foul at the plate. And Montero, I think, got hit by the bat.
I believe he did. Everybody's reaching for the baseball. And Walker not really a threat to run.
Foul.
Yeah, showed bunter. And the good thing, Bill, if you're sitting on your couch, we now have it on good authority that you can sit there and eat all the potato chips you want and be healthy, because that's what Doc Adams told Jason Hamill. He prescribed potato chips.
Yeah,
so.
it's going to make your cramps go away. I like it.
Good for your hydration.
Yeah, a little salt never hurt. I'll tell you though, seriously, everything's 2 hours earlier out there, but it's wonderful to just get up in the morning, turn on you guys, and watch baseball. It'll be fun when the Cubs come out to LA. We'll go descend on Dodger Stadium. Yeah. Cub blue will be everywhere. We got to go to opening night at Angel Stadium this year, and that was fun. A nice big victory.
Cubs went 2-0 in Anaheim to start the year. 0-2 on Cabrera. Here it is. Tie. And it's 1-2. Got a lot of Cub fans out in L.A. Joe Montaigne was here recently. Jeff Garland, our buddy. And always a good turnout at Dodger Stadium. We'll be there in August.
Yeah, it's fun. It's really everywhere. Everywhere you go, the Cubs come out. The fans are there. I suppose Milwaukee would be half Cubs.
Yes. A big Cubs crowd up there as Cabrera swings and misses.
Atta boy.
Heard Theo Epstein on the radio today, and he was talking about coming here, and he said, I knew the Mets were a rival, but he said I underestimated the 69 thing that still resonates with a lot of people. There is still a rivalry here, even though these teams are not in the same division.
And there always will be, at least for any of us that were around in '69. I mean, I remember talking my dad into getting box seats for the last game of the season, which was the Mets in town here. But by then they were out of it. But when we got the tickets, it was going to come down to the last 4 games in Chicago, and then that sad September happened.
Good rivalry in the 80s as well. These teams will wear 80s era throwbacks tomorrow. Conforto in the air. It's like Zobrist has a beat on it. And in foul ground, he's got it. 2 outs.
Yeah, that Mets team in the 80s was good.
Yeah, real good.
They were fun to watch too.
So, you've been coming to Wrigley for a long time. What are your first memories of coming to Wrigley?
I remember my first game.
Right?
It was Ron Santo's first season, and it was a fight. Jim Brewer. And as it turned out, it took me forever to find out who the guy was that ran out and punched him. It was Billy Martin.
Of course.
Sure.
And how did Billy Martin? I don't even know. I can't remember the teams, but I was sitting right behind the third base dugout. I was 7. And I'd never seen a man hit another man before. And this guy just ran out there and broke Jim Brewer's jaw.
You know,
he had to come out of the game, I think.
He was a Milwaukee Brave in '61. He was a Red in '60. So
it would have been. No, it must have been the Reds. It must have been 1960.
Yeah, it must have been 1960, the Reds, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, you know, I have so many memories. I snuck out of school in the 8th grade in '67, came down here for opening day. Don Kessinger hit a foul ball that I caught, and I got busted. I don't know, it was on WGN or something, and I got busted when I got home for ditching school and going to the game.
We thought Ferris Bueller was the first one.
Yeah, no.
0-2 on Rivera. The pitch going outside.
This is great drama, you know. How better? What a beautiful night.
Perfect.
And these two guys just going after each other.
Walker led off the inning with a single, but then Cabrera struck out. Conforto fouled out. Over 41,000 in the friendly confines tonight. Base hit left field. Continue the inning. And Alejandro De Aza will come off the bench.
I imagine some Met fans watching this game were thinking, why is Terry Collins not hitting for Rivera here? Well, you just got your answer.
He did a nice job with that swing,
yeah.
too. He just poked it out there.
So it's the left-handed hitting De Aza. Pitch count still in great shape for Arrieta. Chris Bosio will head out to the mound. Well, we hope we see you on the tube again.
Well, we'll see.
Or film, or whatever you want to do. I mean, you deserve this to choose exactly what you want to do.
It's weird. You know, I'm at a place where if I do something, I want to do something that has some substance to it. You know, everybody says that, and everybody wants to do that. It's harder to do than you think. And I have an idea for something, but I haven't quite been able to get it where it needs to be. So I either will or I won't, and if I don't, that will just go away. Yeah. And if I do, then I'll work on that for a while. I've been very lucky. Yeah.
Well, you've earned it. And everybody here in Chicago's proud of you. We had Bob Odenkirk in, and he said the greatest day of his life. He sang the stretch. He's become a huge star.
Yeah.
Always like the local guys to do well, especially the Cub fans.
Well, you know, we're lucky. I have a whole lot of peers and kids, guys that I grew up with here in the theater in Chicago that have all gone on to have national careers. It's remarkable, really. I mean, we all talk about it. It's like, how could this happen? But we all managed to get jobs.
There's a strike, 1-1.
And the great thing about Chicago actors also is that they just don't forget where they came from, and they don't really truck off to L.A. and New York and become those guys. Right. We stay Chicago guys.
Always want to come back.
Yeah, it's the best place in the world.
One inside corner. De Aza really tried to sell it. Pitch Tracks liked it. 1-2.
Everybody up on their feet now.
Come on, Jake.
Travis Wood continues to warm up. He's ready to go.
Boy.
Bill Peterson coming up with our Mazda 7th inning stretch.
Guest conductor for Tempe onto the ball game. Actor and Chicago native William Peterson.
All right, you guys, let them hear you in New York. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back, 'cause it's root for the Cubs. If they don't win, it's a shame, for it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the
North up I-94 to take on Ryan Braun and the Brewers. Our coverage begins at 6:30 with Cubs pregame live, presented by Fields Auto on CSN Plus. New pitcher, new batter. Hansel Robles against Javier Baez, hitting for Arrieta. So thumbs up for Jake, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
2 thumbs up. Outstanding work tonight for Arrieta. Where there's a lot of attention focused on his outing, and he stepped up in a big way. Hansel Robles for the 40th time, 3-3, low ERA, mid upper 90s fastball. Slings it up there, works underneath the ball a little bit. Low 3/4 delivery. Of a fly ball type pitcher.
Syndergaard will not get a decision. Arrieta cannot get a loss. He could win this game. It's kind of our center field camera for the bullpen. Even though the camera's in left. Over the top look. Tons of strikes from Arrieta. 85 pitches, 63 with strikes. Bounce to third. Baez really hustling, and how did Loney make that play? Wow. With Baez racing past him. 1 out.
Reyes has always played in the middle of the diamond, now getting a chance to play third base. Little glove tap, and then he has to hurry the throw. It sails on him. And good footwork by Loney, who's always been rock solid defensively at first base. One of those plays where as a third baseman you think you have plenty of time, then you look up and you see how far down along the line the base runner is. You say, uh-oh, I got to rush this thing.
Stella the other way, deep and playable, and caught. Follow in-game live on CSNChicago.com, presented by State Farm. Now let's see if we can catch a pitch here. Have a high look, right from behind the mound. I like it. Bryant with 2 gone.
Don't want that one.
Well, he hasn't homered yet here in the second half. His last homer was in the All-Star game off Chris Sale. It was a week ago tonight. Base hit. 2 guys in the vicinity. Cabrera and Walker, neither guy could get it. Inning alive for Rizzo. I think Anthony would not admit it, but he's got to be happy it's not Syndergaard out there. He struck out all 3 times. Tough matchup tonight.
I don't know if Cabrera would have had a play had he left his feet for that ball, but it seemed like that'd be one worth trying for. He's had a little bit of a balky knee this year. Maybe that influenced that play a little bit.
So you read the Billy Martin book. Do you recall the Brewer fight?
I don't. There was a lot of fights in the book. Billy was quite a scrapper, both on the field and off.
I think he was with the Reds at the time. Rizzo's just been raking.
Billy was like Rougned Odor. His philosophy was throw the first punch.
Get in, get out.
At the first sign of trouble. Instead of waiting to find out for sure if there's going to be a fight or not, make sure you land the first one.
What would have happened if Odor and Billy had gone at it?
Rock'em sock'em robots. Odor put together a little bit better than Billy Martin, but there's a whole lot of fight in Billy Martin.
Swing and a miss to end the inning. Cubs strand 1-1-1 as we go to the 8th.
tied at 1. Pedro Strop coming into the game. Welcome back here to Wrigley. The left field bleachers, this is your Coors Light game report. These fans hoping for some runs. Terrific outing from Jake Arrieta. 7 innings, 1-run ball, 8 Ks. Of course, just following up the awesome night from John Lester, who I had a chance to catch up with earlier today. Ever since the All-Star break, he says these guys have been on point defensively, and that'll be what it comes down to in October for a championship team: defense and pitching.
You know, this team is very, very young, so we're still going to have mental errors, and I think that's where we got to kind of shore up some things that that some of these young guys don't understand. Is throwing to the right bases. Hey, you know, sometimes when you make a diving play, you don't have to try to make this spectacular throw. Just eat it, save the runs, save the extra bases. Yeah, you made a great play, but let's not throw it into the stands and have everybody doing a merry-go-round.
We've seen some great picks from Tommy La Stella tonight at third, guys, and also, of course, Chris Bryant last night. I had the whole crowd chant my name just a few seconds ago. What do you think?
Russell makes the play to get Reyes. Thank you, Kelly.
Jerry Springer out there. Without the violence.
Curtis Granderson as Baez is in at third. Now he's going to move over to the other side in the shift. I feel like Javi wears a batting glove underneath his infielder's mitt normally. He does not have one tonight. I could be wrong. Stroke to Granderson. It's a strike.
He's been swinging a hot bat of late. Sac fly here tonight. 0 for 2 otherwise. Slider will induce some funky swings. There's Addison Reed.
One, two to Granderson. Swinging bunt. Terrell jumps on it.
Follow Cubs baseball live with the MLB.com at Bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with Game Day, live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and tablet.
Travis Wood. High for ball one. Strike one. Cespedes, 2 outs, nobody aboard. Swing and a miss. Didn't get the slider.
Cheating. He was looking for a piece of cheese there.
Going 2.
Maybe time for the quick pitch.
Yep. And it worked. Slider, slider, slider to end the inning. Bottom 8. Cubs 1, Mets 1.
How about Pedro Strop? Yeah, well, you know Strop loves his slider, so as a hitter you have to be aware of it. Doesn't mean you're going to be able to do anything with it. Wild swing for strike one. Looks at strike two. Quick pitch. Strike three. Slider, slider, slider. Cespedes is retired.
Robles just robbed Ben Zobrist.
Hansel found the breadcrumbs. A rocket off the bat of Zobrist. Wasn't blocked there. From Ben's point of view. I think more an attempt to get out of the way than actually to catch that ball, but it found his glove.
Strike to Contreras. One and one.
Hector Rondon is up in the pen. He'll have the ninth.
Closer for the home team normally does. On the road, usually that guy is saved and the team gets the lead. Ninth and later. 2-2. Hold on the ground at third. Reyes to his glove side. So 2 outs. Here comes Hayward. Marlins Phillies 1-1, bottom of the 8th. Marlins came back to win last night in extras. Right now they've got the final wild card spot, a game ahead of the Mets. We'll see the Marlins fairly soon here at Wrigley. Back.
The Marlins adopting a bit of a Kansas City Royal approach. Good lineup. Good and improving bullpen with the addition of Fernando Rodney. But just so-so starting pitching. But they're a very intriguing ball club. I think they would be in the market for a starting pitcher.
Who isn't?
Yeah.
The 1-1 to Hayward. Sharply hit grounder, but right at Walker. The inning is over. So we will go to the 9th in a tie ball game, 1-1. by Binny's Beverage Depot. We're giving it to Jake Arrieta. No decision tonight, but 7 innings, 1 run allowed. A lot of quick outs.
Yeah, and obviously good news for all Cub fans who are really concerned about Jake Arrieta after this rough patch he has gone through. He was back to being Jake here tonight. 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 run. He walked 1, struck out 8. Clean, efficient, very sharp.
Averaged about 12 pitches per inning. Binny's Beverage Depot, the official champagne provider of the Chicago Cubs. Hector Rondon came on late, got the save last night. His 16th. Trying to save a tie. 1 strike on James Loney. 2 strikes.
And a good solid line drive hitter. Lifetime .285 batting average. Not a lot of slugging for a first baseman.
Reed and Familia. Contreras will charge and play it on a hop. So Loney is on to start the 9th, and that'll bring up Neil Walker.
Neil Walker looking down at Timmy Tuffle for the signs. He was a little perplexed, and now looking back into the Cubs, or excuse me, the Mets dugout.
Strike on 96. What's he telling him? Wipe off your forearms.
Saying you probably don't know the signs, but I'm giving you these anyway in hopes that you get them.
Nothing in 2. Throw to first. Loney got back just in the nick of time.
Design play there, the pickoff, calling for the high fastball. So Montero up out of his crouch as he gets ready to receive the pitch, and in perfect position to make that throw to first base. It's a good pitch on a couple levels. One, it could be a chase pitch to throw that shoulder high fastball on 0-2. Some guys are inclined to chase that one. That's been the issue for Anthony here tonight. He's seen a lot of high heaters. And if you don't get the swing, and even if you do, you still have the option of taking a shot at that base runner at first.
This is how efficient Rondon has been this year. He has already had 5 8-pitch innings. This would be number 9 here in the 9th. Well, there are a lot of teams at 56 and 36, and you'd be worried about abusing the closer. That has not been the case with Hector Rondon this year. This is only his 34th inning. 2-2.
Yeah, so you got to figure he's in pretty good shape for the second half. He throws strike one 72% of the time, which, you know, for a late inning relief pitcher who pitches in a lot of high leverage situations, that's pretty impressive. Basically has so much confidence in his stuff. Here you go, boys.
Walker giving him a good battle. To first, Rizzo will get one at second. Relay, got it! Double play.
Just a little rollover to first base and the stumble there by Walker, because it didn't look like a double play ball. He stumbles about a third of the way down the baseline there, and that was the difference.
Well, they're going to replay it, and it'll be overturned. Foresight Technology replay review. And there should not be much question. Walker will be called safe. On the bag before the ball hit leather.
Talking about there's the call, the overturn. How about Rondon and the first pitch efficiency, that 72% first strike percentage? Second best among all major league relievers, just behind Tyler Lyons of the Cardinals. And Rondon pitches in much more high leverage situations than does Lyons.
Also averaging under 14 pitches per inning as a result of that aggressive approach. So Walker's at first after a fielder's choice. Cabrera the batter. Padres and Cardinals postponed tonight. Reyes and Rockies delayed before they get started. Swing and a miss. Dodgers lead at Washington 7-3 in the bottom of the 8th. Scott Kazmir very good tonight. 7 innings, 1 run allowed, 8 strikeouts. Chase Utley with a home run for LA. Jose Lobaton for the Nationals. That was a major league debut. Reynaldo Lopez tonight.
Yes.
And he got knocked around. 6 runs in under 5 innings. Base hit right field. Walker will hold at second.
Cabrera, first hit of the night, he'd struck out twice and grounded out to second base. Off balance much of the night, but a good swing there. And that's making some noise here off Rondon in the top of the 9th.
Are you at all surprised Walker didn't keep going?
I thought he might.
I did too. Conforto, big throw from right field in his first game at that position as he nailed Jake Arrieta. Keep the Mets within 1.
It looked like the kind of ball that Walker should have been able to go first to third on.
Yeah.
You know, maybe he didn't get a good jump, maybe a little misstep around the bag. And I guess at this stage of the ball game, his thinking is probably, well, if I'm gonna err, it's gonna be on the side of caution.
Two strikes to Conforto. Up with a fastball and got it. 2 down.
Very late to the party. Why bother even showing up? You're going to be that late.
Rivera's made 2 starts against the Cubs this season. He's got 4 hits combined. And that's trouble, and it's down, and the Mets are going to grab the lead. A 3-hit night for the backup catcher, Rene Rivera. Walker in, it's 2-1. He came in at 190 on the year.
Now Rivera, a bit of a free swinger, and the old cliche, anybody with a bat in their hand is dangerous. Just a little slicing blooper. But it could prove to be a game winner.
Veteran Kelly Johnson will pinch hit for Robles. With 2 scoreless innings can get a win. She'll have to get it done against Jeurys Familia.
Well, if they do get it done, it'll be the first time in a while that has happened.
Remember they had bases loaded, nobody out in New York, and he got out of it. That was the first game of that series, wasn't it?
I believe you are correct. Missed opportunities early could end up haunting the Cubs here tonight.
Charged by Zobrist, and he will make the play, and the inning is over, but the Mets get 1 and they lead 2-1. Game 1 in New York on June 30th. The Cubs put the first 2 on against Familia, trailing by a run. With 1 out, it was a bases loaded situation. So second and third, nobody out, bases loaded, 1 out, and he got out of it to grab at the time his 27th save. He is 32 out of 32. Did not pitch in the All-Star game. He was going to close for the NL if they had a 9th inning lead.
He has converted 48 consecutive save opportunities going back to August of last season. That's a franchise record and the 5th longest such streak in Major League history.
We've got some defensive changes too. Juan Lagares, I see, is in center. Anderson moving to right.
Well, it's a turbo sinker, 96 miles an hour, boring down and in on right-handed hitters. You see a whole lot of that.
It is strike 1 on Russell, Montero, and Baez.
It's there. You can actually do a little something with that. One running in on the hands is almost impossible to make solid contact with.
Check out our hefty home run leaders. The Mets and Nationals lead the way. The Cubs 4th on the list going into action tonight.
Addison Russell has displayed a knack, especially in this ballpark, to do dramatic things late.
He sure has.
Montero next, and then Baez.
One, two. Six years old, 6'3", 240. Familia has run it full, 3-2.
Yeah, muscled up a little bit on that one. You see Rivera immediately coming out of his crouch and telling him, hey, easy, easy, big fella.
Familia allowed 6 homers in 78 innings of work last year, has not given up a long ball so far this year in over 43 innings. Ball 4, leadoff walk.
Well, great job laying out. First that 2-strike slider just off the outside corner, and then this sinker. Great job, and Addison Russell not letting the moment get the best of him. Now, normally, Joe Madden would not bunt in this situation. Familia being an extreme ground ball pitcher might change his thinking a little bit. No indication there. After Baez, it's the top of the order. That is currently the pitcher's spot. In all likelihood, if we get there, it'll be Matt Caesar.
Russell back at first. Took the lead in the top of the 9th. 2-out RBI single by the catcher Rivera. Cubs catcher at the plate. Montero waits on a 1-0. It's inside. 2 balls, no strikes. Missed again.
And with each miss, the crowd gets a little more energized.
He walked him. 2 on, nobody out. So another opportunity here against Familia. Albert Almora Jr. will pinch run for Montero. Javier Baez has supplied the only game-ending hit here at Wrigley Field for the Cubs. It was the end of the Mother's Day Marathon in extras against the Washington Nationals.
Running fastball moving in on Baez. That plays to his strength. Has a tendency to pull off the slider away.
Two on, no outs, and Baez showing bunt takes ball 1. That's 11 pitches and 2 strikes here for Familia, and this is his ball game. There is nobody up in the Mets bullpen. He has earned it, according to his manager Terry Collins. No safety net. One and one. Punch to third. Barehanded by Reyes. Safe at first. I thought he was going to let it go.
And again, that may be lack of experience for Reyes, the middle infielder, just now playing third base this year for the first time. So he's got, what, 10, 11 games over there.
Wow. Bases loaded, nobody out.
There's a real good chance that ball kicks foul.
So it's set up for Matt Caesar.
He's been the man off the bench.
With a golden opportunity. To not only tie it, but win it. Walk, walk, bunt single. Russell at third. Almora, the pinch runner at second. Baez at first.
3 hits yesterday for Caesar in a starting assignment.
Mets are going to play their middle guys back for a shot at 2. Swing and a miss. So they'll concede the tie to try to get Familia out of this inning. If the game's still somewhat intact. Big homestand for Matt. 3 hits and a start last night. This has been his bread and butter spot.
Yeah,
Pinch hitting.
had a lot of success coming off the bench attacking that first pitch. Didn't get that one.
Oh, 2. Ninth inning drama. Mets grab the lead in the top of the inning. Cubs have 3 on with no outs. Against a guy who has been perfect in safe chances. The 0-2.
He worked out of that bases loaded jam back in New York. It was that sinker down and in under the hands off the plate to the right-handed hitters.
Right off the high one. Chris Bryant is on deck. Familia with a 1-2. It was July 30th of last year. The last time Familia blew a save. So we sit here on July 19th of the following season, and a long streak is in major jeopardy.
We try a slider.
Cued to first, on the ground, throw to the plate, forced there. Russell is out, bases loaded, 1 away for Bryant.
See Dickie Scott and Terry Collins communicating with their infielders. Telling Reyes, yeah, we're playing for 2, but if it's a chopper, come home.
Bryant 2 out of 4. One of the outs was a line out to center. Low, ball 1. So now Almora Jr. is the lead man at third. Baez at second. Caesar at first. All 3 have pretty good wheels. That's playing for 2. 1-1.
Chris anxious here because he saw the ball out away from him where he could get extended a little bit. Familia gets great movement at 97 miles an hour.
To third, Reyes to second for 1, relay, double play, and Familia gets out of it. The Cubs did not hit a ball out of the infield in this inning. 2 walks, the bunt single, the fielder's choice, and they go around the horn to end it. Wow.
Reyes, who perhaps made an ill-advised play on that bunt play, starts the game-ending double play, and Familia dodges another bullet against the Cubs. Bases loaded, nobody out situation. Twice now he has worked out of that, and the Cubs, with this golden opportunity late, had great opportunities early that they couldn't cash in.
Before that pitch, JD, I was going to mention If you look at the way the inning developed, the Cubs did not hit a ball hard the entire inning. So Familia kind of created his own jam, and the balls that were put in play were not necessarily struck well. So he is one of those guys who can get out of that situation.
Yeah, he's got overwhelming stuff. He's got huge strikeout numbers, and he's also a huge ground ball guy. He just does not give up a lot of hard contact. You mentioned it earlier. He has not allowed a home run all year.
So the Cubs were oh so close, but the Mets take game 2. It'll set up a rubber match tomorrow, and we're back on CSN Plus Friday night to open a series in Milwaukee from beautiful Miller Park. We have more coming up. Blue Cross Blue Shield post game live right around the corner. Once again, your final score: the Mets 2 and the Cubs 1. Stay tuned here on CSN.